Hello, Wisecrack Nation. It's your boy Navi here, coming at you out of the Speed Force with a new episode after a long hiatus of The Flash. So far on Season 5, we've made it to episode number 18, titled Godspeed. And what do you know, I've just seen a white flash come out after I've exited the Speed Force. I wonder who that could be. But for right now, let's see what happens after everyone has found out Nora's deep, dark secret. Well, it seems that Team Flash is still at odds and ends about the fact that Nora has been working with Eobard Thawne, and Sherlock has revealed that the entire time that he's been on Earth 1, he's been investigating Nora and hasn't told anyone. I can understand why the team is upset at him about that, but they can't get mad at him for giving the facts. Nora did deceive them, but now they must try to figure out the truth themselves as they read Nora's diary of everything she's done since coming back to 2018. This is why you don't keep secrets, and this is why you don't keep journals pertaining to all the information and everything you've done since you've been back. That was somewhat of a good idea and a bad idea by Nora. We get a modern day look at the year 2049 through the day in life of Nora West Allen, CSI, and see that just like father, like daughter, she's late to a crime scene. And once making it there, she goes through the evidence to find that there's a hidden security camera that can help identify who stole chemicals and left the scene without being seen by anyone. At which point she goes back to her lab to meet with her best friend Leah to see that Nora is just like her father in more ways than one, as she has a murder board dedicated to not only finding Cicada, but figuring out what happened to her father as well. And after viewing the security tapes and footage, they see that it's a speedster that has a white lightning. It looks like Nora's in over her head, as she's obsessed with learning about speedsters for some reason. Now we see Nora at the Flash Museum trying to find evidence of a white speedster, coming to find out that there is no other speedster that used white lightning. And before the museum closes, Nora gets a message over the announcement system that Iris, her mother, has been calling her. After finishing up her conversation with her, she meets up with her best friend Leah to go to a laboratory to try and figure out the combination of things that the stolen chemicals could be used to make for. Unfortunately, there's an unlimited number of things that can be used to make. They now have to figure out what it is. After leaving the laboratory, a white flash runs past them, and they meet Godspeed after he's killed one of the scientists that they've met. And unfortunately for Nora, she's hit by the white lightning, which has activated her speedster powers, but also rendered her unconscious. And once again, just like father, like daughter, Nora wakes up in the hospital to the song Poker Face by Lady Gaga, and quickly finds out that she has super speed thanks to the fact that she got hit by the lightning of Godspeed. And what makes things so ironic is that when she uses her speed, she does the same actions her father, the Flash, did in the first episode, such as running around so fast that she winds up in a delivery truck outside. And along with her friend Leah, they both decide to keep this a secret from everyone, including her mother. And what concerns me the most is that now she wants to try to play superhero because now she realizes she has speed. But the one thing she doesn't have is training. And because of that, when in the field, she messes up big time to the point where she lets the villains get away and destroys 3 police cruisers. Oh, it doesn't matter if it's the future or the past. Nora West Allen is the worst superhero there could be. Great. Now, for some reason, Nora feels that it's her responsibility to become the newest speedster for Central City and realizes that in order to catch an evil speedster, she needs to think like an evil speedster. So what does she do? She decides to go to Iron Heights Maximum Prison and visit the one person who she shouldn't, Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash. Now, after seeing the meeting of Eobard Thawne and Nora West Allen, it's become ironic that this episode is almost like the first episode of The Flash, because just as Barry approached Dr. Wells, Nora's approaching Eobard Thawne in order to get help. And just like on the first episode, Dr. Wells said no to Barry, just the same as Eobard Thawne is saying no to Nora, in which case Eobard Thawne has figured out that even though Nora's a CSI, she's also a speedster. And we see that after refusing to help her, Eobard Thawne is tortured while inside his containment cell. And what makes things even worse is that after returning to her home, Nora gets notified by her best friend Leah that the chip that they found in her shoulder after her recovery wasn't from her flying into a shelf. It was a power dampening chip put there at a young age in order to dampen her already meta powers. Now we experience why Nora, when coming to the 21st century, was in such a bad mood when meeting Iris, because she never fully talked to her mother about putting the power dampening chip inside of her and her finding it. But the biggest surprise came at Jitters when Nora figured out the 3 components that could be combined together in order to find out what Godspeed was looking for. So both her and Leah decided to go to the storage yard where the 3rd component was in order to combine the first 2 chemicals together. Unfortunately, with no superhero training or speedster training, Nora got her butt handed to her by Godspeed, in which she had to watch her best friend Leah be punched through the stomach at super speed and die right in her hands. I know I give Nora a hard time for being the worst superhero ever, but she didn't deserve that in any way to lose the only person, well, one of the only people that understood her. Finally, the much needed conversation between Nora and Iris has finally happened, in which Nora questioned her mother about why she had put a power dampening chip inside of her at such a young age. Unfortunately, it raised more questions than answers for Nora, as she wasn't given the full scope of explanation by Iris. But later at CCPD of the future, Nora's confronted by one of her superiors and told that they've identified the speedster who killed Leah, August Hart, which happens to be one of the guys that Nora met inside of the Flash Museum the prior day. After remembering the meeting between them at the museum, Nora decides that she's going to be the one to catch him. After visiting the Flash Museum once again, it seems that Nora has figured out that Godspeed, aka August Heart, is trying to make a vaccine for Velocity 9 that will give him permanent speed to where he won't run out or die from the effects of it. But unfortunately, she still has no idea how to stop an evil speedster. So once again, she goes to visit Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash, and try to convince him to help. And surprise, surprise, just like episode 1 from season 1, Eobard Thawne develops a heart and decides to help her. We see that Nora is ready to take down Godspeed as she goes to a laboratory to get the third element in order to stop him from making the perfect formula for perfecting the Velocity 9. And as we see, when confronted with Godspeed, Nora is able to trick him in order to slap a power dampening bracelet on him and slow him down. But unfortunately, he pulls out more Velocity 9 and gives chase to her throughout the city. And what surprises me the most is that Eobard Thawne is trying to teach Nora how to phase through buildings. But unfortunately, she's not like Barry, and instead of phasing through a building, she hides behind one. But that does give them license to create a new plan in order to stop Godspeed using satellite bursts. The one thing I consider very rare and funny is that throughout this entire season, Nora's a speedster learning from everybody else, but she doesn't learn how to be an independent person and develop her own opinion of people correctly. Because believe me when I say this, in my opinion, Excess, aka the Flash's daughter, is still the worst superhero in history. And trust me, I've seen the movies Dragon Ball Evolution and Avatar The Last Airbender. Well, it seems that Nora is as happy as can be as she's taking down her first villain in Godspeed and tries to ask Eobard Thawne to train her. Unfortunately, he informs her that he can't do that, that he's due to be put to death within an hour and 19 minutes. And what messes things up even more, Nora confides in him that her mother has lied to her about so much and that she wants to know more, in which he suggests that he knows more, telling her that she has no idea. At which point, Eobard Thawne sends Nora to the Flash Museum in order to view something that she's never viewed upon being there before. At which point, she takes his ring and goes into the special room that everybody has known about from Team Flash. It's at this point she goes through all the memorabilia collected throughout the years by Team Flash and meets Gideon for the first time, in which Gideon gives her the information of her father, Barry Allen, being the Flash, and replays his last video that he left behind for his daughter Nora. And to be honest, the worst part about this scene is the fact that she never gave any of this information beforehand to Barry or any of the team once coming back to the past. I felt if she had done that, it would have made things more easier for them to trust her. At this point, the relationship between Nora and Barry is highly, highly scarred, as Barry talks to Nora alone after asking everyone to leave. It's very heartbreaking to see that Barry doesn't trust Nora and speeds her back to the future No pun intended on that one. Maybe a little bit. But the sad part about it is, he's telling her to never come back to the past again. Because if he does, he'll just take her right back to the future. It's kind of heartbreaking to see Nora cry as she knows that her father is not only angry at her, but disappointed. But before leaving the future, Barry decides to stop by Iron Heights prison and visit Eobard Thawne and talk to him about how he used his daughter. It seems that when it comes to Barry's family, Barry gets highly sensitive and more hostile than usual. But the worst part is the way he's treated his daughter. I think he needs to slow down, collect his thoughts, and rethink everything he's done so far. But hey, I'm not him. I'm not the Flash. Well, Wisecrack Nation, this is where I step back into the Speed Force and try and figure out what Barry's gonna do. Because right now, he's kind of off the railings and is very wrong for how he's treating his own daughter. But until then, I'll be seeing you all next time. Hopefully when Barry's calmed down and settled things over with his family. Because we know Iris isn't gonna like this one bit. But for right now, I want everyone to relax, enjoy the rest of your week, and remember one thing, just one thing I always tell everyone. Be wise, crack hard, and enjoy your day, people. Oh, and do me one favor. Stop over by the 450 Legion channel and look at my friends' videos for gaming. They really are good at what they do. And if you could, just for me one time, do a like, comment, share, subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate you all coming through and viewing what we put out. Thanks, guys. Peace.